Yo, Josie.
What's up?
Josie. We're here with Josie Jaxxon today, guys.
Oh, did we start?
It's already been on. Cameras have been rolling. Actually, you know what? Just so we make sure we know the cameras are rolling, I should probably put it. Fuck it. Josie.
What's up, Lupe?
Welcome to STAGVIEW. I've been waiting for you to get here.
Me too.
Been waiting for you to get here.
I'm here.
So everybody, if you don't know Josie, me and Josie met on the phone. We started talking. She called me. She was like, "Hey, what's up?" No, that's not. You messaged me, and I think I called you.
Mm-hmm.
And then you were coming in town, and you wanted to meet. Well, that's it. The rest, I called her mad times. She got in a car accident. I was worried about her. Didn't you hit some old lady or some old lady?
Some old lady hit me. Thank you. I forgot about that, though. That was right when we had connected.
I don't forget those things because it was traumatic for me. I was like, damn, I ain't gonna get to collab with her. She out here colliding with old people and shit. She out here running through calamities and whatnot. And then you were so disconnected about it. I was like, yo, are you okay? You're like, yeah, I'm good. Old bitch fucked my shit up.
Yeah.
Took out my whole side.
It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. My sister and I were on the way to get tattoos. And I texted the tattoo artist and I was like, yeah, so we're going to the hospital instead. So we're going to have to reschedule.
Exactly. Hey, I know he was like, what? What, you want to fill me in? That's what's up. So, Josie, how did you get into this industry? How did we get here? How did we get to the nasty?
Yes. Okay, so summer of 2021, my husband and I started exploring the world of non-monogamy.
Okay.
Yes, so we the open relationship started with threesomes, couple swaps, like getting into the lifestyle stuff, and then we realized how hard it was to coordinate multiple people's schedules, and
Gotcha.
so we were like, okay, maybe we do branch out and start doing things on our own.
Okay.
And so I started doing solo stuff, and that's when I started filming. So I would video myself with these guys and bring it back, show my husband. I'd like suck his dick while he watched the video.
Oh, that's hot.
That was a really fun thing that we did. But then it was also like instant kink unlocked when I started filming because I'd never filmed myself. My husband and I had never filmed. Like,
For real? Never? Not like even when y'all were dating, sending each other things over the years?
No. Okay, I was not a very kinky person.
Oh, shit. So this is a new development.
Very much so. Yeah. Josie in the last 2 years is just I'm full slut. I didn't even used to like being called a slut. Yeah. I'd be like, don't talk down to me, don't degrade me. Now I'm like, slut me out, daddy.
Oh, how things have changed. So to speak on that point, a lot of people seem to think that when you're married, it's the end. In your case, when you got married, well, let's not say got married, but when you got deeper in your marriage and more evolved in your marriage, that became the beginning.
Literally.
Got that comfort level.
It's been wild. We've been together a long time. I was 19 when we met. He was only the 5th person that I had slept with.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And then when we started the open relationship, it was just certain kinks that I didn't know I had, or certain, like the hot wife kink in general is just like between that, the filming, it was a no-brainer that I made the OnlyFans. We were so far in debt too that I was like, you know what, fuck it, like I'm already making the content, like I might as well try to sell it and see what we can do. And it turned out that I was pretty good at it.
Fuck yeah, you definitely are good at it. So with that being said, how has coming out affected your life in any way? Like, has it affected your life in any way? Outside of obviously you're making money, I'm sure that you cleared that debt and now you're doing good, you're traveling, you're seeing things. I've seen you all over between LA, Vegas, here, everywhere.
Yeah, so I've not had more fun in my life than this year. Like it has been so fun, such an adventure. I will say though, we are still kind of living in secret. Our families do not know.
Okay.
So that's been the tough part for sure. Yeah. I'm really at the point where I'm ready. I'm ready to tell them. I'm ready to just be like, Mom and Dad, here's the deal. Yeah. This is what we're doing. And I think they'll see that we're happy.
Yeah. I think that is the thing that most people don't understand. So I just watched a clip of Riley Reid coming out, and she's saying, the worst thing to do is porn. Like, not the worst thing to do, but she regrets doing porn. And I was like, wow, like you regret it as a single girl who did porn, right? And I think about it and I go, as a single person, single female, I could understand, because I've been trying to wrap my head around the Lana Rhodes coming out doing that, the Mia Khalifa coming out. After that's what got you this platform that allows you to live the lifestyle that you live. Now you come out and say, I regret ever doing it. So if you had never taken that step, you would still be working at Starbucks. Or, I mean, hopefully you would have, matured and became a lawyer or a doctor or something. But let's be realistic. You didn't do that when you finished porn. So why would you have done it then?
Yeah, that's wild to me. I fucking love porn, and I'm so grateful for everything that this lifestyle has gotten us. And I mean, I have a master's degree. I had an office job. That's
what I'm saying. So you had what those people, that so-called life.
I was miserable.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So that was the next thing, was like, I worked in corporate America, so I felt the same way. I was a project manager, and then I worked in restaurants, so I knew like the ins and outs of that. That it's a miserable life. Deadlines, living with people you don't really want to deal with, people that don't want to be there. Everybody's there to do a job, but don't want to be there to do the job. It gets taxing.
During COVID, it was okay because I got to work from home, and so I got to spend more time with my husband, because he works remote too, and he's still remote. So it was nice. We were planning our wedding, and it was a good time. And then when everything died down and they were trying to send us back to the office, I was like, well, this fucking sucks again.
Facts.
And so going back to the office would really made me and I had already started the OnlyFans, but I didn't know that it was going to take off. And then I actually made a couple naughty videos in the office. And that is how my Reddit kind of blew up. Yep. And it's pretty much the reason why I was able to quit my office job.
Facts. Thanks, office. Yeah. Thanks to the office. But nah, that's crazy, man. I always look at this as it was a blessing for us too. Same thing. We weren't really in debt too much, but we had some things that we wanted to take care of, you know what I mean? And so it was definitely a blessing for us. It was an ability for us to just express ourselves in a way that we always had. And I always thought it was funny because us being together for so long, we never cared whether or not our families gave a fuck, because we're bonded. You know what I mean? Yeah. We have a family. So like, I realized that a lot of people who regret those things haven't created a family yet. Yep. And because they haven't created a family yet, they don't have anybody to bond to. So now they regret doing those things because they've lost the only thing that they had bonded to, because they haven't created a true family yet. Yep. Yeah, they might have had a kid with somebody. Yeah, they might be in a relationship with somebody, but they don't have the years that they had with their family to back up the bond. So like with us, it's a little bit different because we have the years to back up the bond. Yep. So when we come into this, it's all fun and games. And I think that a lot of adult entertainers, they lack that. Like the ones that have been in the game for a long time, they got it. But the rest,
yeah,
they're still like, I might have kids one day, and I don't know if I want to explain this life to them. So why are you here?
That's so fair. Yeah, because it goes on the internet. It's going to be there.
It's not going away.
I'm definitely a lot more open and carefree than my husband. If it were up to me, we would have told them already. But I respect his decision. And so honestly, I'm surprised that they haven't found out by now.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny. They may know and not get
That's true. My brother knows. He saw me on Bumble. Because it's not only that we're doing porn, it's that we're in an open relationship. Yeah. So we're
my wife has a fucking Tinder.
Yeah, we're out there. And so it's like those, the multiple bombshells form my family. It's like, hey guys, we are both bisexual. We are in an open relationship, and I do porn for a living.
Yeah. Boom, boom,
boom. Yeah. What should I start with?
I mean, at the end of the day, I love him. He loves me, and we're going to be together forever, and we're married. So like I always tell people, you're going to be, you can hope to be your great-grandmother one day. Right? And remember that your great-grandmother, you don't know who her parents were, right?
Yep.
But you know who your great-grandmother was.
That's fair.
And for someday you're gonna be the top dog.
I do not want kids, but I see your
my point is
the story.
You're gonna be Auntie Josie.
Yeah.
That's always been able to have a wild time and live her best life.
You know what? And that, like, I think my family can tell that they know that I'm having more fun. They can tell that I have more friends. I never had a lot of friends. It was just kind of me and my husband, and we just kind of did our thing, went to work, and just
It's just y'all.
Yeah, and so now they see, like, I went to the mountains with a whole bunch of content creators, and I was like, yeah, mom and dad, like, I'm just going for my birthday. We have a couple couples coming. Like, they didn't know that we're all fucking each other.
But they don't need to know that.
No, but to them, it's like, oh, like they're happy for me that I have friends. Like, they see me traveling a little bit more. They don't know about all my traveling because they think I still work at the office. But no, like they see that I'm happy, and honestly, not only that, and our relationship's been great, but me as a thick girl, porn, I've never felt more confident in my body. I've had this body dysmorphia my whole fucking life.
For real?
Hated my body. Yeah. And I still have moments where I'm like, I'm a fat girl, but like the porn has helped me so much to be like, fuck yeah, I'm a fat girl. Like, like, and I think that people don't realize that, or maybe they don't think about the positive aspects of porn in that way.
Yeah.
Just getting that constant affirmation. And yeah, the internet has some mean people. Like, I try not to read my Reddit comments because those are scummy people. But the majority of the time on like Twitter, OnlyFans, it's all love.
And that's the best part about it. It's all love. I think, and it's not all love, but it's mostly love.
It's mostly love.
And I love that part. Like, there are dark parts of this industry. There are dark parts, you know what I'm saying, where people do things that aren't savory. And I want to talk to you about that too. They do things that aren't savory. And I think the good in the general sense outweighs the bad.
Yep.
Especially when you talk to your fans. And I'm sure you have fans that are like, you know, hey, you know, I just love watching your story. I'm single. Or, hey, I know that, you know, I'm married. And this is kind of something that echoes something that we're going through. Or, you know, these things always seem to come back in a positive sense for somebody.
I love helping people. Like, I love when my fans will message me and be like, hey, my partner and I are looking into getting into non-monogamy. Or, hey, like, my partner and I haven't had sex in a long time. Like, do you have any advice? Like, I'm not a sex counselor or therapist, but I can speak from my experience as you know, in the non-monogamous world and just being in a relationship for years and years. So I love when my fans will talk to me and ask me questions, and I feel like I can help them and help them get into the lifestyle too. Yeah,
definitely. I definitely have to 125% agree with you on that. Like, that is one of the best feelings in the world when, like, a guy comes to me and is like, hey, I've been with my wife for 12 years. I've had these fantasies of seeing her with somebody else and sharing her, and I don't really know how to go about it. How do I approach her with it? How do I talk to her about it? How do I bring her into the fold to, like, do this? And then, you know, like, going through and bringing them in and watching them develop. So, for example, Hot Wife Lexi Love, she was one of that couple. Our interaction was her husband reached out to me on Reddit, and he was like, hey, he's like, I've been following you for the past 5 years. He's like, I've been on your OnlyFans, I've been on this. He's like, I've checked you guys out. He's like, I've heard all the podcasts that you're on. He's like, and I really believe that you could help us get better at this lifestyle thing. He's like, because I really enjoy watching my wife. He's like, we've tried it. She's over it. The guys have sucked. Like, it's just not, like, it's not working. Like, can you come up here? I know you play as a single guy. If it's okay with your wife, can you just come up here and spend the weekend with us, please? I was like, verify and we'll talk about it. So he gave me her Snap. He verified it. We started FaceTiming, communicating exactly, you know, the details. Talked to my wife. You know, we got everything, you know, squared away. I went up there. I remember we got there, we hung out, didn't have sex at all the first day. We just hung out, just vibed, got to know each other, talked, you know, smoked, chilled, and then went out, did a comedy show, like, you know what I'm saying, came back, you know, he went to work the next day. It was just me and her at the house. We smoked, did some stuff around the house, helped her out, still didn't have sex, went out to a bar, and then that night when we all went out, then we had sex after, you know, we were drinking, chill, the vibe was right. And it was funny because it was it was one of the things where I was like, I don't know if this is gonna work for her, but by that point I knew that I had made a friend.
Yeah.
And so that everything else was, I just made a friend. Me and her, we clicked. It was a vibe. Like, the whole time we were just vibing, and I was like, this is what the lifestyle is. And that was like the culmination of all the years of me, like, being in a lifestyle, you know, being this guy, doing these things. And it was like, no, I really could. If I wanted to make something out of it, I really could make something out of it. But that moment right there, that was that best feeling ever.
Yeah,
now she's like,
the girls are best friends too.
Yeah, like, fucking tight now.
I love
we're
that.
like a family unit now.
Yeah, it's the best.
Yeah,
just
it really
like
is.
I mean, even like when you and I talked the first time, I was like, man, this guy's cool. Like, it's just like knowing, and like when we talk mostly it's just like kind of like business stuff, but like when you like we were so concerned about like me being in the car accident, I was like, this is a good dude. Like Thanks. I can see this person being like a good like business relationship, but then also like a friend. And then like when we had the content house in Charlotte, like so we had a whole bunch of people, you were there, and it was just so fun having everyone like, because we all like the family dinners, like we were just was the best. We were just smoking together. We make content. You're just making content and working hard, but then hanging out the whole time, and everyone's like making out off camera and doing like, because we're all
just having a good time.
Yeah, just a bunch of loving lifestyle horny people. Facts,
man. So since you've been now, you've done the content houses, you've done the parties. Have you had any bad experiences? Have you dealt with anything that was like unsavory with the climate that's going on, with the whole Heaven POV situation and people being outed left and right? Certain people doing things that haven't been technically exposed yet. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of stuff going on. How? Because I try my best to stay above the fray, because I'm just like, I'm super paranoid of, one, like, I have a daughter. You know what I mean? So I'm paranoid that karma comes back tenfold. You know what I mean? And I don't want that karma to come back on my daughter. One, that's like my biggest paranoia. I don't give a fuck about the rest of that shit. It's just, I have a daughter. Yep. So with that being said, I try to make sure that I always treat people with respect, love, care for them, because I want that energy to come back. Even if it doesn't come back to me, I'll take all the hate. Just make sure the love gets to her. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, how do you stay above that, or have you encountered any of these type of situations where you were like, man, and I'm not asking you to out anybody on my show. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, if you have a situation, you can talk about.
No, yeah, okay. So I two part to the question. I've been very fortunate to where I've really not had any like traumatic experiences as far as like abuse or any people that really made me feel uncomfortable during. There's some people that I haven't vibed with fully, but that's where, whatever. And I'm so above like Twitter beef. I don't do the drama. Even like when I was in high school, college, like I just stuck to stick to myself and do my thing. And I just like, I don't give a fuck about like the drama or people's personal lives, as long as it's not affecting me. So that's like on Twitter, I try not even to like tweet anything negative or complain. If I'm having a bad day, I might like write something, but I delete it. Like I try to just stay positive. I try to make my page just a fun place. Like I don't want people thinking I'm just bitching.
Yeah, all the time. Because we see those accounts where you're like, man, I get it. It happened. Yeah,
and like I can't imagine that. Yeah, I can't imagine that that's like a fun experience for the fans. For me, I like to tweet because I'm an exhibitionist slut and I like to share my content. I like to keep people in the loop. So it's like it's a fun space for me. I don't get into the drama. But I did have one bad experience. My very first collab. This was in June of last year. So I'm coming up on doing a year of doing collabs and stuff. And I traveled for it. And they hit me up a couple days before. And they were like, hey, like, do you want to come? I'm not going to say what state it is because I don't want. And they're really not even that big. Like, I never see them around, like, anymore. Yeah. And when it first started, when I met them, I was like, oh, these guys are, like, they're so big. Like, they're gonna whatever. So anyway, I traveled to them a couple days after we'd already met. It happened very fast, which hindsight should have been a flag. Like, they were really trying to rush me to get a flight and get there like days later. And me being all excited and new to it, I was like, yes, like I'm gonna do it. My husband's like, this is weird. Like,
this is going too fast.
Yeah, like this is a flag. Like, I don't know. It's a couple. And so I got this really nice Airbnb, and they came and we made content for like 3 days straight, and it was great. We had fun. They taught me a lot. I learned a lot. We made fire content. But I didn't know like the rules or like the normal how collabs go, where it's like content trade. Like you trade the content, you move on. They had me like signing all this stuff saying that like I couldn't use content unless they approved it, and that if they had to edit, like I couldn't even make like my own trailer, like, or post any sort of like clip, and if it wasn't approved by them. And they had like a whole like schedule, and I'm just like, okay, like that's fine. And some people do work like that, that's fine. But now
looking back, you're like, I don't have to work like that.
Yeah, so looking back, a year of just content trades where it's like you trade the content, like peace, have fun. But So that wasn't even the problem. The problem was another big content creator reached out to me while I was in town because she saw me on Tinder. And so she reached out to me on Twitter and asked if I wanted to collab with her. And I was like, oh my God, this is so exciting. Because like this world was new for me. My Twitter was very small. I wasn't following these people. I didn't know that I didn't know the content collab world existed. Like I thought it was just people doing their videos at home and like doing their thing. I didn't know that this was such a big world and interconnected web. And so when she reached out to me, I was like, hell yeah. And then she brought one of her guy friends who is a big content creator. Yeah. And so we did a threesome, and then he and I did a scene and at the house that I paid for in the Airbnb. So they were like, I was like, okay, so like how do we do like the content, whatever? And they're like, no, we airdropped it. You have the content. We're good to go. Like all good. So I was like, okay, cool. So I tweeted a clip from our video because I was excited. I didn't have any of the content from this couple to post because they were hoarding it until they were ready to give it to me. So I was like, oh, I'm excited. I'm going to post. They got so furious with me that one, I even posted it. Two, that not even their content, the content that I made at the same house as them. They were mad that I filmed in the same couch, in the same pool, at the same area. They were like, they freaked out. And I'm like, they were like, I think, I shouldn't say this. I think they're a little racist because it was a black guy. And so I think they didn't want to be connected. Because they were, throughout the whole time, they're like, yeah, like, if we now that you've worked with us, like people are gonna know and like it's gonna like network. So it's like you've worked with and we've worked with these people. So they're very like concerned about their image and stuff. Yeah. And
that happens a lot.
And so I was just dumbfounded, and I was like, I've actually never spoken about this either because I've just this is actually I feel like it's gonna get me in trouble. But I mean, you
can't get in trouble. You're grown.
No,
we are grown.
Well,
people.
Exactly. And I'm over here. I'm like, we spent 3 full days together. Like you guys know my character. You know that I'm not trying to like hurt any sort of business relationship or anything. Like I genuinely didn't think I'm doing anything wrong.
And you're not.
And I wasn't. I didn't know that though. I had them berating me. This man was just verbally abusing me, just for days too. Because then it was like they were threatening me, and it was. I wish because we hadn't signed the paperwork yet. And my husband was like, don't fucking sign it. Just delete all the content. Don't use it. Don't do it. But I'm over here like, oh, it's so much content. It's great content. I really want to use it. Like, and that was my biggest mistake, was saying yes. Because I don't sell the content anymore. They do. I actually got tagged on OnlyFans that they're still selling my shit. Yeah. They put me on, I'm not on Pornhub, because my husband doesn't want me to be on there yet, just to, to keep it a little more low key. And they posted a video without asking of Pornhub, and it was the guy fucking me, and it's literally like a close up. It's just my body. Yeah. And it was their most popular video, most viewed on their site. And I had fans like on OnlyFans. They're like, hey, they didn't know your name. Like we had to search, like figure out who you were. But yeah, we saw you on Pornhub. And I'm like, I don't want to be on Pornhub. Yeah. And they were nasty when I asked them to take it down. They basically were like, no, we have the like paperwork, like blah, 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 like all this stuff. And God, it went on for months, where it was just constant harassment back and forth. Jeez. And it was just, and I didn't realize, I wish I knew what I know now, to be like, hey, that is totally normal that I fucked on the same couch in this Airbnb that I paid for.
Exactly. Get over it.
Yeah.
And on top of that, I'm not signing this shit, because at the end of the day, like, we're here to make content that we can both use. And right now I'm getting the short end because I can't use it. Yep. It's one thing if you want to post it like the next day. You just made it there in the bed,
Yeah.
Editing. Okay, I get that. That's a little fast. But just for me to get the content, like...
Yeah, I wish I had known a little more about just the collab world at the time, because then I would have realized that I didn't do it. I was beating myself up. I was like, oh, I shouldn't have posted that clip. Like, oh, I'm like, I didn't know that I shouldn't have done that.
Exactly. Like you were fresh.
Yeah, but not even like I was fresh, but I still didn't do anything wrong. Yeah. I just didn't have the like.
That's what I'm saying. You were so fresh, you didn't know.
I didn't know how to defend myself. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. Exactly. You getting beat up and you just like taking punches. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so like, I regret doing that. Like, you're like having that trip with them, but I don't regret because I met the two people that I met, and they ended up opening up a whole ass world for me and getting like the networking is. I literally like I tell her I'm like you're the reason that I'm like doing all these collabs and stuff like. And I've seen her a couple times. I'm not gonna say names, so I just don't want to.
No, listen, keep it to yourself. Listen, at the end of the day, like I said, we're not here to out nobody. We just here to talk about experiences.
Yep.
Now, if somebody want to go out there and be motherfucking Sherlock Holmes, figure this shit the fuck out. This shit's on the internet clearly, so you can figure it out. It ain't hard. Okay.
If you want to figure that out, you probably could.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So, anyways, long story short. Like I said, so that would have been your nastiest experience so far. Everything else has been smooth sailing.
Yeah. So since then, it's been nothing great, and that was my first collab experience. And so now it was last June. So now I'm a year in, and everything's been great. I have tons of friends. I'm doing trips and collab houses and
trips. She came to Tampa.
Yes.
Thank you for coming on STAGVIEW again. I appreciate that.
When you left Charlotte and you were like, I want you to be on my podcast, I was like, bet when.
You did say that, and she pulled up, and I was like, she's gonna come do this podcast, and then we're gonna film after. And guess what? We're doing this podcast, and she's about to film after. It's about to be lit. She's about to do a gangbang next in the studio.
I'm so excited.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm scared. I'm a little nervous. It's my first gangbang.
This is your first gangbang.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. It's for real?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. We did the airtight scene in Charlotte, and that was the first time that I ever had 3 guys.
Okay.
And so this will be the first time I had 4 guys.
Okay. Hey, look at that. Oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
I'm so excited.
Here we go. So, is there anything that you have planned for the future? What's Josie Jaxxon in 2 years? Where do we see? Are you gonna still be here? Are you gonna be a mogul? Are you gonna be owning like a chain of like strip clubs, the Josie Jaxxon arena of bad bitches? What you gonna be doing?
So, the short-term plan right now is knock it out more content, work it. I just made my ManyVids. I'm about to do a second, like I think I'm going to do a free OnlyFans page and like kind of just build up my pages, probably Fansly, and really just kind of solidify those pages. Yeah. And then I do want to, once my husband and I get to the point where we're okay with, the Pornhub stuff and all that, and branch out to a couple more things. But yeah, we're business-wise, I don't know. Uh-huh. We're having fun right now, and it's the first time that we've had extra money to play with, so we're having fun. But no, I want to get serious. I want to have something of my own. I just started the Josie Jaxxon LLC. So. Okay.
Yeah, she said I'm a businessman.
Business bitch. Well, I've always wanted. My husband and I have always wanted more than just like the normal grind. So we've always known. We've always had the entrepreneurial spirit. So we always knew that we were gonna be doing something different.
So this is gonna. I feel like what you're saying is, you got a master's degree already. You got an entrepreneurial spirit, and now you're making bank. I feel like you're enjoying yourself right now. I feel like you're about to make a major move. Look, all I want to say is when my friends have degrees and you start making moves, just tell me what I need to invest. Just tell me the number that I need to invest. I'm working with you, okay? I'm fucking with you, all right?
Fuck yeah.
Just tell me the number. My homie came to me. So sidetrack. My homie came to me a couple months ago. He's like, hey, man, I got a condo in DR. We building. You want in? I'm like, yes. How much?
Yeah. You know what my dream would be is to own a content house. Can
we do it in another country? Because we could own a beautiful house in another country.
Fuck it, let's do it.
Like, I'll be down for that.
Yeah, because I had so much fun planning like the Charlotte collab. Like you saw my with spreadsheets and shit. Like I was on it. Like I really love the organization, and I love just like bringing people together. And I think I could like do it as a business. I really believe I could.
I think that we can. So as soon as this episode is over, which is coming to a close right now, we are going to talk about something that's going to change everything, and we're going to be collabing for a long time.
Fuck yes.
All right, so this is Josie Jaxxon, guys. Josie, where can everybody find you at?
So Josie Jaxxon at OnlyFans, ManyVids, Twitter, FetLife. I need to make a new Instagram because I got blocked off that one. But it's Josie Jaxxon everywhere.
Okay, gotcha. So Josie Jaxxon Josie Jaxxon everywhere. Check them out. Check her out. And look forward to having you back on.
Look forward to coming back.
Thanks for tuning in to STAGVIEW. I'm Lupe. And you are?
Josie Jaxxon.
All right, y'all. Peace.